Welcome back to the Corner 3 podcast. On this episode, we discuss, is Giannis going to be a future Knick? Who wins the finals? We give our predictions for that. Players with the most pressure coming into this season, and a whole lot more. Michael Jordan, Air Jordan, is the only player in NBA history that is retired to average 20-plus points in each season of his career. Showtime. Fellas, how y'all doing?
What's up? It's good to be back.
Good to be back for another week.
Yes, sir. As y'all heard on the intro that was previously recorded before this, we have a jam-packed episode for y'all tonight. Again, if you love basketball, this is the podcast for you. You already know what's on the rundown if you listen to the intro. I'm going to start off with this one. Since we started off with the fun stat being MJ, Jared, you start us off. You saw this question. Shout out to Brett Usher. We want no problems with anybody thinking we taking their credit or their stuff because we saw that happen. Brett Usher on X created this question, which inspired this segment for us. Jared, you started off. All-time favorite breakout season.
Okay, so for me, my favorite breakout seasons was the MVP Derrick Rose year, because for Rose, I mean, he was always seen as a top level player even when he came into the league. But the MVP year, for me, that was like one of the great MVP performances that I've ever seen. There's been a lot of great MVPs this year, but the fact that 6'1" point guard to be that athletic and just take over the league by storm like that, have the Bulls the number one seed in the league, it was amazing to see. Then I think they went to the conference finals that year as well and went up against Miami and was just dunking on everybody. I remember him dunking on Joel Anthony with that two-hand double pump dunk. I was like, oh my God, like this dude is insane. But definitely him. Jalen Brunson with the Knicks, because I did not expect that. I'm not even going to lie to you. Yeah.
We had to get a Knicks in there.
Huh?
So we had to get a Knick in there.
Yeah, but God put a Knick in there. And then 2016, Steph Curry. Because, like MVP, championship, then he just had the first year games MVP ever, averaged over 30. I think he shot 50, 40, 90 that year, led the league in steals. Was it 73 wins, even though they didn't win the championship, but that was just an amazing season individually for Steph Curry.
I'll go next. Speaking of individual season, I just want to give y'all one because a lot of people don't talk about it, especially in our generation, because we didn't see it. But if y'all haven't learned, I actually like going back and doing research, doing the history of previous eras. I'm going to throw one out there for y'all. 1986-87. Michael Jordan, that third year, he averaged 37 points per game. 37 points. The team went 40-42. They made it to the playoffs. But individual performances, the craziest by a guard. Nobody has ever averaged as much as a guard. Harden came close at 36. But he averaged 37 in a season, the only guard to surpass the 3,000 mark season in a season. Obviously, Wilt hit 4,000, and he's at the top 10 like 6 times. But MJ as a guard to do that. And in that season, he led the league in steals, one of the first guards to ever have 200 plus steals, and 100 blocks in a single season. 1986-87 MJ. That breakout season was on another level. Rush, you take it over.
Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one who only did one, because I thought we supposed to do one. So Jared did 3. I got nervous because I'm never prepared. But I do have my one, and I'm gonna go. This is probably one of the more like storybook breakout seasons that had a bit of a tragic ending. Like than following seasons, but Isaiah Thomas, the 5'9", phenom for the Boston Celtics. 28.9 points per game, 6 assists, All NBA, All Star, 5th in MVP voting. Got the Celtics to the Eastern Conference Finals. Just had an incredible year, and all signs were pointing to him getting a crazy extension. It's his famous quote: "Back the Brinks truck up," and it didn't happen. But take nothing away, that season was incredible. And even though it was a Celtic, but as a basketball fan, I enjoyed the season that he put together. So that would be probably my favorite breakout.
Hey, no cap. Again, like you said, as Lakers fans, I was rooting for, until they played the Lakers, of course. I was rooting for IT. Obviously, I am not 6'12" like some other players. I'm a 5'10" guard. I realized very early my favorite player growing up was Kobe. I wasn't going to be 6'6", so I couldn't keep trying to emulate 6'6" Kobe. So it was great for me as a 5'10" guard, seeing what Isaiah Thomas did. I hate how it panned out for him. I hate how Danny Ainge, who is a ruthless businessman, went about it, but that's the NBA. It's a business. And speaking of things being a business, it came out today. I don't know what Jared's response is going to be. The GIF he sent in the chat kind of got me on. I kind of think his response, what he's going to, lean towards. But in the business aspect, it came out by Shams that Giannis considered heavily to go to the Knicks. Ian Begley reported, again, we giving credit to people. Ian Begley reported that Giannis has an appeal. It's an appeal to win in New York, which, I mean, Ray Charles would agree. New York or Milwaukee, even he would say New York is appealing. Jared, you as the resident Knicks fan on here, are you glad that your Knicks did not go all in to get Giannis?
Yes, I'm kind of confused on the report because some people are still saying the Knicks need to go ahead and do it and trade for Giannis. So it's like, which one is it? It's like, is he still interested or not? But I don't think that they should go in on Giannis because I feel like they will lose their depth as far as trading away multiple players for one player. And one of my friends, we was talking about it earlier, he was like, they should trade Cat for Giannis. Straight up, just them two. It's not going to work salary-wise. Because I tried it in the NBA trade machine. Didn't work. So I'm like, they're going to have to give up somebody. So I don't want them to go through the same mistake that they did with Melo. And Melo's my favorite player. But I didn't like that the Knicks traded for him. I liked the idea of Melo just coming to offseason and just joining them. So if Giannis wants to come, cool. New York, let's not wait. Let's not, pull the trigger too soon. Let's wait till see how the season goes. And then possibly Giannis will come in the offseason. But with the Knicks luck, he probably will end up going to Brooklyn.
Hey, if Giannis does that, then he obviously that's not the allure he was talking about. It has to be the Knicks. And come on, stop being disrespectful, Garrett. It's not just Giannis. The Nassus is coming too. It's two players.
Coming back to New York, homecoming.
Facts, it wouldn't just be Giannis. It would be the Nassus as well coming. Rush, from all the reports and saying that basically the Knicks were interested, but they did not give a good enough offer. Do you think, with how wide open the East is, that they should have pulled the trigger and got Giannis in New York?
Not really. I'm sort of the mindset of Jared. Like, any trade for Giannis is just going to gut whatever team is bringing him in. And even though you likely still end up with, Giannis and Brunson, I don't know if that would be enough, especially for a guy as great as he is that's been injured like the last several postseasons in Giannis. So you want to keep that depth for the postseason when you may have one or two guys banged up. But if you send them all out for Giannis and Giannis goes down, then you find yourself, in a tough spot. So I took the Knicks as sort of sort of kicking the tires. I don't know. Obviously, they didn't come with a very strong offer, but I really felt like, from what I read, they were sort of gauging, how likely Milwaukee would have been to even seriously consider a deal, which could probably help them check their temperature. Like if Milwaukee's like, say they start like 3-10, right? Now they know, okay, let's restart these talks, because now Milwaukee may have a little bit more of an appetite. So I took them as sort of probably gauging Milwaukee's willingness to seriously trade Giannis. But I really feel like, I think this situation has no choice but to end with Giannis going somewhere else. But I really feel like it's going to happen at the earliest would be like next summer, like the summer after this season. Just because of the nature of his contract, and we've seen what the second apron has done to teams in terms of their willingness to go out and make big moves. And I don't know, it just doesn't seem likely. I think he's a buck for this season, and then next summer is when I think the temperature will turn up a little bit in terms of teams calling on him.
Yeah, most definitely, because I think the best piece that they would possibly trade that would make sense for the Knicks is Mikal Bridges to be a part of the trade, but because of his extension, he is not available to be traded till February 1st, after February 1st. So if he does get traded this season, I see it being one of those trade deadline trades, or like you said, it's going to be in the summertime, and that'll be obviously the biggest storyline of the entire summer, that we didn't really get that energy this offseason. And
Yeah.
I think it kind of changes from here on out until they maybe renegotiate these aprons. As you said last episode, these aprons are a killer. Now that happened unbeknownst to us in the offseason. What are some of the moves that did actually happen in the offseason that you don't think is going to pan out this season? We'll start off with you, Rush.
I'm a punt on this one. I want you to go, Jared, first.
I'll start while Jared gets his notes right.
There you go.
Jared gets his notes right there. I think the Miles Turner signing by the Bucks, I don't think it pans out for them. I still think Giannis has an MVP level season, but the moves that they made to get Miles Turner, I don't see it doing what they think is going to do. I still think they're lacking as a team as a whole. I agree with Rush. Kevin Porter Jr. can have a breakout season, but I still think that gets them. Giannis is going to have an MVP level season again for him to be a top 5-4 seed. I don't think that works out. I think the move that the Pelicans did to get Derek Queen, more so, and it's not about Derek Queen, but the trade that they made, giving up that unprotected first round pick for Derek King, that's going to halt them, because it's not Derek Queen's fault. But you make that trade for a player that's going to make an immediate impact and that's going to be in that conversation, I would think at least for Rookie of the Year, which Derek Queen is not going to be a part of that conversation. Derek Queen is not going to have that type of impact. And if Zion stays healthy, Derek Queen is not going to see the floor a lot. So right. I don't think that was a smart move by the Pelicans. I have a couple more in my head, but I don't want to take nobody's shine. So, Jerry, I'm a tween. Pass it your way.
So, just to be clear, Toronto, they signed Ingram to the extension this offseason, right?
Yes, sir, Ski.
Yep, so I don't think that was a good move. Only based on the fact of Ingram's injury history, but also they're kind of loaded with wings now. You know, they got RJ, Ingram, Scotty Barnes, Grady. I'm not going to say the last name, but Grady, but they got a lot of wings on there. It's like, and they still got Gary Trent Jr., right? No, not Gary Trent Jr. They just drafted somebody. They just drafted another wing. I forgot who it was. But I feel like they just kind of like loaded at the forward position. Even if like they gonna put Scotty at the 4, Ingram at the 3, RJ at the 2, whatever way they shape it, it's not enough for all of them to have the ball in their hands. Especially since you have Quickly on that roster too. That's 5 players right there that needs the ball in their hands. So when they made the trade initially, I was super confused because what would they need Brandon Ingram from? they got RJ, they got Scotty Barnes. That could be your two pillars on the wing, and then you just get kind of like someone to fill in as like a 3-and-D guy or whatever the case may be. But to have Ingram, who's another scorer, another ball handler, doesn't make sense to me. So giving them the extension, unless they think they're going to probably try to trade RJ during the season, or I don't think they'll try to trade Scotty Barnes, but if they try to trade RJ, then it will make sense to me.
Yeah, I would say for mine, I think this is going to be somewhat controversial, I think, but I think the Warriors bringing back Jonathan Kuminga will end up being a bit of a mistake. Not because he's not a good basketball player, but I just don't think that the way that Steve Kerr has shown to want to run his offense and this team, it's just not an ideal fit for Kuminga. And I know Lacob is fond of him, and Lacob is cutting the checks. So if Lacob said, hey, I want to keep Kuminga here, then Kuminga stays. But a shout out to Doc Thompson, who said that they probably should have traded him like a year or two ago. And now you're in the situation where you don't want to lose him for nothing, but the only stuff that's out there is stuff that you're not really excited about. So you sign it, you agree to a deal. He's still going to be coming off the bench, even though he wanted to start and he wanted to finish. Maybe he finishes games, who knows? But I feel like we're going to be right back in the same spot once he's eligible to be traded. And, maybe his stock is a little bit higher, his value is a little bit higher because of how well he plays. But I don't know. It just feels like it's a powder keg, like it's a situation that's ready to sort of erupt. And it could have been avoided.
I'll throw one more in there. The Nets using all 5 of their first round draft picks.
Yeah.
Like I said, Jared, Brooklyn is not the allure for Giannis, for anybody. They got great food on the arena. The food there, bar none. The best in the city.
Listen, I went to WNBA Finals last year, and they had this place in there called the Bodega. And I'm like, okay, this is a nice, cool aesthetic. I didn't have the food there because I was like, I'm not spending no money in Barclay. Too expensive for me. But it was a cool aesthetic to see.
Yeah, most definitely. That's the best thing they got going. The Liberty play there, and if you got money to go to the food court, it got a bevy of options. But outside of that, the 5 first round draft picks, I don't think it's going to pan out well. Some of them might not even see the court. I think they win more games than expected because Georgie Fernandez is such a great coach. Like,
how many games are we expecting them to win?
I can see 20 to 25 wins.
Just sneaking up on people.
Yeah, I can probably get there.
It's like they might get majority of that probably, on that back half of the season, that the Mickey Mouse kind of schedule of it, where it's like everybody's if you're in, you don't really care. If you're not going, some people already got their vacations, like the Bulls. The last 2-3 years, they finish off the season 22-4. Are they going to be better next year?
Bulls are back.
I'm actually watching them literally right now. Yes,
back in the play-in.
Hey, looking into this season, right? 2025-2026 NBA season. What are some of your bold predictions that you see happening for this season? I'll start off, and then Rush, you could take it. I believe, even with Jason Tatum being out, Porzingis not being there, Al Horford went to the Golden State Warriors, I still think the Celtics will be a top 6 team. They will be a playoff team. They still have a great core there. They still have, obviously, Mazzulla as a great coach. I think Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard can get the job done. The big situation is a little iffy, but because it's the East still, I could see them being a top 16 team getting into the playoffs. Because some of those back-end teams like Charlotte, they still might be at the bottom playing regardless. So because of the back-end teams, pretty much probably still going to be booty. I could see the Celtics maybe winning 40 games, and that's a 6 seed in the East this year. Like,
Yeah.
it really might be that bad. But Rush, you take it off.
I think this one I either said or alluded to last episode, but I would say I think the Hawks are going to get a top 3 seed. I think we have another segment coming up with like a player with the most pressure, so I won't spoil it, but the player is on the Hawks. I feel like they had a really successful offseason. And Trae Young's been entrenched in that system now for a while. You got Jalen Johnson back, who showed like he was a budding star last year before he got hurt. You've got Dyson Daniels, you got Reese Shea, you've got Nall coming. Like you've got a squad. So I think they've got the versatility. They've got obviously have the defensive capabilities. And I think they'll have enough offense to really, put some distance between them and that middle of the pack Eastern Conference that we're used to seeing in that 4 to 8 range or whatever. So I could see them getting a top 3 seed if all goes well. I also have Luka Doncic winning MVP. That's another bold prediction of mine. He's got the narrative lead going into the season. They did an amazing job with his press rollout once the season ended. Had the men's magazine article, you know what I'm saying? And then he went and played well this summer. So he's got a full training camp with the Lakers now, and they've begun to tailor the team around him. And let's not forget, he was not 100% Luka last year and still did 28, like 7-7. Like he was still dominant. So I can only imagine what he's going to look like to start the season this year. So he's got the narrative lead, and I think that'll carry on. I think he'll perform really well this year. And I think those are my two.
Hey, Jared, the floor is yours. I'm pretty sure at some point between yours, we might get something Knicks related or Wizards related, but I might be wrong.
Nah, that's something different. So my first bold prediction will be that the Suns will finish as a bottom team in the league, well, at least in the Western Conference, and Devin Booker requests a trade. I think I don't know, it feels like he's just visibly kind of done with Phoenix. Like the way his body language seemed like, I'm
going through the motions.
Just going through the motions, exactly. And it's like, they going through so much turnover over the years that he's been there, from like teammates and coaching. It's like, what else he can do? Like it's like he's been to the finals. He's been on a rebuild team. Like it's now at this point, it's like, you might have to move on. My second one will be that the Pelicans can possibly fight to be a play-in team if they stay healthy. That's the thing. If they can stay healthy, I feel like they can be 9th to 10th, sneak into the play-in.
Hey, I love
if they can make it. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I love it.
So they make the play-in, right? Do they make the playoffs out of the play-in?
Depending on the matchup. That's the thing. Depending on who they match up with, like I feel like they can sneak some teams. Like a healthy Zion, he's gonna get in teams problems. And I think they made the playoffs 2 years ago? 3 years ago?
Might be 2 years ago. He had that crazy play-in game against the Lakers. They lost, but they ended up making it to the playoffs. But he was injured, and they was home with us.
Yeah. So if Zion can stay healthy, then I could see it happening.
And the only thing I worry about with New Orleans is playing Zion and like Looney together, or Zion and a non-shooting big. It's just, I don't know how well it's going to work because he hasn't really proven himself to be a capable, consistent perimeter shooter. But I still like the prediction. I'm jumping in the back of the truck on that one. I think that they can surprise some people too.
My last one that I'll give for my prediction, I have a couple, but I think you got Luka. I think Jokic wins another MVP this season. Out of roster and the help that they got, I can see the Nuggets actually getting the number 1 seed overall in the NBA. And I could see it be another season where Jokic ends up averaging, if not a triple-double, close to a triple-double. He has all the top rating, true percentages, and this is the best ever win shares. I can see all that happen in the season. I can see all of that happen in the season. And they tried to give it to him last year. I can see it happening. I'm of course rooting for Luka to get it.
I feel like he's done. I feel like they're gonna LeBron him.
Hey,
he's got his trove of MVPs now. I feel like he's not gonna get another one.
I think we might see this will be his last year. He could possibly get one. Mm-hmm. If they could, and this is my caveat on it, is like they have to be a number one seed. If they have a number one seed, they're better than the Thunder. He has his usual. We haven't seen stats like this since 1947. He has that type of year, and he has the Bill Simmons of the world and the Bomani Jones and all of them singing his praises. This will probably be his last year that he could get another, because voter fatigue is an actual real thing. Like you said, the LeBron aspect, LeBron, MJ, both really should have more MVPs. But,
I think Luka should at least have one already, to be honest with you.
Which year?
That year they went to the finals.
Who won it that year?
I think Jokic.
Hey, I'm rooting for the Lakers and Jokic to get one. I think for the Lakers to actually be a top 4 team and above, 4 and above, we need Luka to have that level of a season. This is not, even though he made his little jokes. I'm pairing with Hennessy VSOP. He is on the back end. He's still probably he's going to have a great season. That's not what's in question.
Right.
But we need Luka and Austin Reeves, those two. We need top tier seasons from them.
Yeah. If he gets them to 50 to 55 wins, and a top 3 seed, I feel like he's got a really good shot at getting it.
Hey, question.
He's going to put up numbers. So
easy.
That's not really in question. It's just a matter of how well the Lakers do relative to the field, I think.
Question, Rush and Jared, and Rush, you can start it off if you want. For y'all, when y'all look at MVP and when y'all choosing an MVP, what are the parameters for you personally? Like, is it they got to win 50 games? They got to be top 4? What is the parameters for you when you're looking at MVP?
I think it changes from year to year. I don't know that there's any set criteria for me, because a lot of it depends on the lay of the land in terms of what's happening in the rest, outside in the league. So some years it might be a narrative based award. Some years it might be like an offensive based award. Sometimes it might just be the best player on the best team. Like it's one of those awards where it's not really defined. So it ebbs and flows every year for me. So I say 55 games and, a top 3 seed for Luka, but the Lakers could win like 48 games, but his numbers are so crazy, and maybe somebody gets hurt that he might still be a finalist candidate. So I don't know. I'm not really trying to dodge the question, but it just depends. Like it changes year to year for me.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask because I know I listen to Vinny Goodwill, and he says for him his criteria is minimum 50 games. They got to win 50 games. Yeah. So, like, for example, he let it be known the years that Russ won, he didn't vote for Russ to win MVP because they didn't win 50 games.
Were they with like 48, I think, that year?
48. I think it was 48. Yeah.
I think they were at the 60 that year when they won it. When he won it, I think.
Yeah. I mean, 48 is 48. The difference between 48 and 50. I mean, it could make the difference of a couple of seeds, but I don't know. I feel like it's being picky. No shade, no disrespect to Vince, legend. But but I feel like most times your MVP is gonna. I feel like 50 games, like most times your MVP is gonna be like right there. I feel like because usually it's not like a 8th seed that has the MVP. So I think that could be a fair benchmark because it takes care of itself. So I could kind of see that. But everything else, I feel like it's a toss up from year to year.
Hey, Jared, do you think you could see in the next 3-4 years, do you think Jalen Brunson would ever get an MVP with this Knicks run?
It's weird because it's like when we talk MVPs now, it's like people say they can't be on stacked teams, and I feel like the Knicks is really stacked right now, so that would probably be held against him. Kind of like how Donovan Mitchell was kind of held against him last year. They was like, oh, the team is stacked, and he's not like top level scorer in the league. Like he's not averaging like 28 a game. He's only at 24. So I feel like it just depends, like Russ on the narratives. It honestly is weird because like every year it changes. Because like this year with Shea leading the league in scoring, he was up there in like defensive stats as well. They had one of the top seeds in the league. But then, it's the same thing last year, and he didn't get the MVP. Jokic got it. So it changes. I think when Embiid got it, the Sixers were probably like third in the East, but he led the league in scoring. So it's hard to like actually say like, all right, what is the criteria? For me, the criteria has always been the best player on the best team, at least. But now, it's not that anymore. Like I feel like back in the days, like, with Steve Nash winning it and Shaq winning it, like those times, it was the best player on the best team. So like it made sense. But now it's always changing.
And there's so many different ways you can gauge value now, right? Like with analytics and advanced statistics, like it's just like what someone's value. You have so many different like fields of data to look at, to consider how valuable someone is. Whereas, in the past, some of that data wasn't available. So people really had to go eye test or baseline, best player, best team. But now it's just it's so difficult, and the players are so good. The offenses are so wide open where like you have a situation where Jokic was probably had, if you put regular traditional statistics and advanced statistics right up next to each other, Jokic was probably better than Shea last year, but narrative, right? So it's hard. It's hard to say, but I'm still going with Luka.
Jared, you mentioned you
put that in there.
What you say, Jared?
What's funny about that though? I was looking at this thing about people talk about Bron, the retirement, if he was going to retire, and just looking back at his career. Someone said it's kind of crazy how Bron didn't ever win a Defensive Player of the Year, and Marc Gasol got it that year, but Marc Gasol was second on the All Defensive team. But I think the case for him was like the advanced analytics at the time, but advanced analytics wasn't as advanced as it was now. Oh, matter of fact, it wasn't as prevalent as it is now. And then I think John Hollinger was the coach then, or
I think he was GM.
It was the GM, yeah. So then he was the one who was really kind of behind the advanced analytics. So that probably was kind of the push towards him winning Defensive Player of the Year. So that just goes back to the whole stats things. Like sometimes we don't see it, but sometimes the advanced numbers tell a different story.
Yeah, Bron probably should have won it that year.
Yeah.
That was a bit of a heist.
Most definitely. Looking at, you mentioned, Jared, within your breakdown right there about the Cavs and Donovan Mitchell, transitioning, we talk about players with the most pressure. I think, and I'll start off, I said the whole organization, the Cleveland Cavaliers' entire organization has the most pressure because, again, the East is wide open. They have no excuse to not win the East this year. There's no reason that they should not get it done. Jared said it last episode. Hey, the Knicks, they have a good chance because the Cavaliers always choke. Hey, Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, and the rest of the crew. If they don't get it done this year, they're blowing that team up. This is the last year for that squad to go get it done. And this is the best opportunity I have to at least make the finals. I don't think y'all win it because that West is a gauntlet. But y'all need to at least make it.
You know what's funny, though? I don't blame Donovan Mitchell. I feel like Donovan Mitchell always shows up playoff time. Like, he always goes crazy. This one, he was hurt. But the whole team was hurt. I feel like it's mostly Garland. Like, Garland seemed like he just haven't had like a big playoff moment or a big playoff series as of yet. And it's like sometimes you just forget he's even on the court. It's like, yeah, he needs to wake up. Like, me personally, Donovan Mitchell, one of the best players in the league. He always shows up playoff time. And man, I mean, it's kind of crazy how everything fell apart last year for the Cavs with everybody getting hurt, like at the wrong time. So, like, if hopefully their bench can help solidify, like them being not so burnt out and hit with injuries at the wrong time of the year. Hopefully, but we just gotta see.
Hey, Donovan Mitchell shows up at the same time. I think what he's going to have to do on the next level of his game is figure out how to get Garland and the rest of them involved. Donovan Mitchell, my thing that I've always had an issue with Donovan Mitchell, and sometimes it's needed and sometimes I think it's not needed. And I haven't been in a position to be able to figure out that fine line. So I'm not saying it as somebody that's figured it all out, but there's games where Donovan gets 35 on 32 shots. In the playoffs, every possession matters. 35 on 32, I don't think that gets it done in a 7-game series. We can't have too many of those games, Donovan. You got to figure it out to have it more efficient. And if you ain't got it at first, maybe you have everybody else get involved. We know that you could turn it on at any point. Fourth quarter come, you could have been 1 for 7. They know they giving the ball to you. We're not giving it to Garland. We're not giving it to Mobley. We're not giving it to Allen. I think he has the least amount of pressure on that team, but as a whole, this is the last year, and then they're gonna blow it up like Namasaki if they don't get it done this year. But Rush, go ahead. Who got the most pressure?
I think a couple people. One, I think Jaylen Brown, Mr. $300 million man. I think it's not going to say he's time to earn his contract because he's obviously earned it and deserves it. But it's a different world when you go to war every night with Jason Tatum by your side, and now he's not there. And a lot of the guys that they built camaraderie with and from that championship team aren't there anymore. So he's going to have to kind of hold things afloat until Tatum can get back, and maybe they make a move and offload Simons or I don't know what the plan is with him. But this feels like very much like a gap year for the Celtics, but it's the Celtics, right? So you don't want to just tank and fold. So the fan base, I think, in the organization is still going to expect that team to show up and put forth a good effort. And every night that's going to start with Jaylen Brown. So there's a lot of pressure on him. But then Trae Young, I think, who is extension eligible, I think. If not yet, he will be at some point this year. I think the biggest knock on Trae is that he hasn't really had the team around him to be successful. I think that's what a lot of Trae Young supporters or apologists would say. Now he's got a squad, and like we said, the East is wide open, and I feel like it's on him as sort of the head of the snake there to get that team performing and to put them in a position to make a run deep in the playoffs. And he's obviously got the scoring ability. We know he can get a bucket for himself. But now you've got an actual team with guys with defensive skill sets and guys who can score in a multitude of ways. You got a Porzingis there. You got a Jalen Johnson, who's, like we said, is a budding star. So I think there's a lot of pressure on Trae Young, especially with the contract extension looming to perform. So those are my two guys. But also at the same time, Luka. Right. all of the good press Oh, Luka dropped 31 pounds. Oh, Luka looks great. Luka was a candidate for best defender in Euro basket. Like, he's got a full offseason with the Lakers. There's a lot of love for Luka right now. But man, if he's not up to snuff, and he's already in LA, but man, it can get ugly real quick. So I think there's as much as I expect him to succeed and do well and bring home that first MVP, there is a lot of inherent pressure on him by nature of being the best player on the Lakers, but also because of everything that's sort of led up to this point.
Hey, to your point, before you go, Jared, Trae Young is contract eligible to get an extension. The Hawks did not even send an offer this year. So I think leading up to the season, they haven't sent the offer, which they talked about it to him during media day. And he's like, basically I control what I can control. I'm going to ball out this season and we'll go from there. I think the Hawks are definitely looking at it now like, hey, we surrounded people around you. You have a contending roster. Can we, as the Hawk organization, actually build around you a contender? So I agree. He was on my list in my notes as one of the players that has the most pressure, because also, yes, we want to have team success, but your contract year, he'll get paid regardless. But if you want to stay in Atlanta and get the max that he wants, yeah, this is the most pressure on him, because they surrounded you with some dogs now. Get it done. Unless, knock on wood, injuries, then we all know. And I think it was, I forgot who said it on Threads. For the rest of this season, at least on my part, I can't speak for them. We're not gonna keep saying because of injury, if they're healthy, that's obvious. We don't gotta keep saying that. Oh, if they're healthy. Obviously, if they're healthy, this is all if they're healthy. This isn't 2K. We can't turn off the injuries. These are all predictions and thoughts if teams are healthy. Nobody makes a prediction like, I'm thinking Porzingis is going to be out 26 games. Don't nobody make predictions like that.
But which I understand, but the counterpoint to that is you got a lot of knuckleheads online. Like, somebody will say, "Oh, I think the Hawks are going to be a top 3 team in the East," and then the whole starting lineup will be injured the whole year. And then people pull up your opposing, "Oh, this age like milk." Now that's why people got to put the disclaimer in there, because you got a lot of knuckleheads that don't understand nuance.
Hey, well, I'll say this, and Jared, you could go. One of my OGs told me.
I say that a lot too, so I agree with you.
One of my OGs told me, like last year, he said, "Hey, Tom, see you doing your podcast thing, and I see sometimes you respond to people in the comments." He said, "Tom, you can't talk basketball with everybody." You right, OG. You right.
Yeah.
ain't that much engagement in the world. If they whole lineup got injured, I'm not responding to that comment. Oh, it aged like milk.
I mean, that's like my LeBron. I'm sorry, Jared, this because this is totally an aside. That's like my I made a LeBron post about the fact that he, dropped 24, 7 and 7 or whatever last year at 40. And somebody jumped in and was like, "Well, Jordan did that at 40," and they said he was washed. And I was like, "No, Jordan didn't put up these numbers when he was 40. And then somebody was like, "Well, he basically did." I was like, "No, he either did this, he either dropped these numbers, or he didn't." You don't almost, like, you don't get points for almost dropping what LeBron said, especially when your argument was Jordan dropped these exact numbers. No, he didn't. But you know what? That's also okay. Like, it's fine. I don't know why when you give LeBron James props, there's a lot of unfulfilled men who just seem to be attracted to your replies and just come in with like just nonsense. I don't know what it is personally, but it's just
wild.
And I need to be like, I need to channel your OG a lot, because sometimes I can't always resist, and I take the bait.
Oh, here's another bronze sexual. Here's another bronze glazer. Like, bruh, the goal. I've seen it put too many times. Once you then point out the facts, something that could be looked up. They didn't say that Michael Jordan had 15 hot dogs. No, this is something that could be looked up on Google. And then now the goalpost is moved. Well, basically, all right. All right. The comments, I've seen your comments, I've seen Jared comments. It lets me know that America has failed with reading comprehension. We're definitely at the bottom when we compare to other countries. Our education system has failed so many kids. They got passed.
Like people just dislike players for absolutely no reason, with the exception of like Rudy Gobert, who everybody dislikes. Like, there's no reason why you should just be you should just hate players. It doesn't make sense. Like, these are tremendous athletes, some of the greatest athletes in the world, and some of the greatest athletes of all time. It's okay for you to give them props, or just say nothing at all. But you don't got to make stuff up just so that you can, try to put them down. And I was joking, of course. Rudy's fine. I'm sure people like him, but it just don't make sense to me. But I'm sorry for the tangent.
My bad, Jared. Too.
Get your words off. That's cool. Get your words off.
Apparently, it needed to come out, but I got it. So I'm good. I'm sorry.
All right, for you, Jared, who has the most pressure this season?
For me, even though we said the whole healthy thing, blah blah blah, that doesn't matter. For me, it's Joel Embiid. It's like you have the team now. When are you just going to show up? When are you going to actually play, and not be telling the media, "Oh, I might not play back to backs. I don't think I'm gonna play any more back to backs no more." No, like you are an MVP candidate. You are an MVP. You are one of the best players in this league. One of the best players that's probably ever played this game. Led the league in scoring. Play. You have the team. You have Paul George. You have Tyrese Maxey. And the same goes for Paul George, too. He has to stay in the court as well. He has pressure on him, too. That whole Sixers team has pressure. You did the whole trust the process thing. You had the squad with Ben Simmons and Jimmy Butler and J.J. Redick and Tobias Harris. That team never got past the second round. Now, look, we got another bomb squad that we expected was going to be a bomb squad. They all get hurt, and they all just throw the season away. All right, well, you got another season. You got some nice draft picks coming in with Edgecombe. You have McCain coming back from the injury last year. Put everything together. It's a nice mold of older and younger players. Figure out a rotation. You guys should be a top seed in the East, at least. Like, it should be like not in any particular order. It should be them, Knicks, Hawks, and Cleveland. It should be them. So that should be the top, thriving for them top 4 seeds. But we all know the same thing with Embiid. It's always something with him. As far as I'm concerned, if he can't get it done this year, it might be time to move on for him too.
Hey, I'm on the same page with you because I picked the 76ers to win last year.
I remember that.
So,
oh man,
I'm on board with you. That's why I said the Cavs had pressure. I'm not even thinking about them. They already burned me once. Shame on me. Burn me twice. Yeah, you feel me? We're not gonna go.
You had Sixers won the title last year?
He did.
Yeah.
Why don't I don't remember that? Wow.
Oh, it's good that you don't remember it. It's good.
He said it. No, but I remember. You said it. I was like, "You sure?" Because them knees don't look healthy.
I just feel like there's so many opportunities to come to your senses before you actually say something like that, and I don't know why you didn't. I'm just shocked. That's all. I don't remember, but clearly I wasn't paying attention when you said it because I don't remember it.
Hey, that's perfectly fine. I don't think nobody else remembered it because nobody brought it up.
It definitely went under the radar because we'd have had to brought that up a couple times last year while we were recording. So,
nah, definitely. I think all of Threads missed it. But in that same vein, who's y'all picks? Who's the predictions? Jared, you started off. Who's coming out the West? Who's coming out the East? Who wins it all?
OKC and the Knicks, and it pains me to say this, but I think OKC will win it again if they go against the Knicks. But I'm fine with the Knicks getting to the finals. Like I said that in the last episode. If the Knicks get to the finals, I'm fine with that.
And then y'all get Giannis in the offseason, and then y'all win it the following year. So
Yeah, that'll be fun.
y'all be fine. Hey, Russ, your predictions.
Yeah. I'm going to go with the Knicks. Go with the I'll go with the Knicks, and I'm gonna go with the Thunder too.
Wow, two
Okay.
of the same prediction, and I'm guessing you have the Thunder winning it.
Oh, I do need to say that, don't I? Yes, with I want an option to change my decision when we get to midway, because I do think the Knicks can match up well with OKC, especially just with obviously the three wings that they can put on Shea to sort of disrupt, and Jalen as well. They've got really good switchability at their wings on defense, and I think Mitch Robinson is probably the ultimate X factor in just the way that he can extend possessions. So I think that it could be like a 7-game series that could really swing either way. But when you're a champion, you kind of get the benefit of the doubt. So that's why I went with OKC.
Not to be a contrarian, just to be contrarian, but I have the Nuggets making it to the finals against the Knicks as well. And I can see being a 7-game series that the Nuggets pull out. I think for me, that series, which it can go either way, because I think the X factor is going to be none other than Jamal Murray. What Jamal Murray will we see throughout the year? I think that's another player that could have the discussion of pressure. They can be that number 1 seed dang near every year with that two-headed tandem between him and Jokic. That can be the modern version, more athletic version of Stockton and Malone if he is healthy, if he decides he wants to show up every single night. If Jamal Murray is playing like we saw Jamal Murray playing in that bubble and that following season,
Jamal Jordan,
it's scary hours for the entire league, because you can't really do nothing with that two-headed tandem right there. So I think they make it to the finals, and I think we see Jamal Murray have a bounce back season, full all season healthy. He kind of did the thing with Team Canada. Probably should have just rested. I think a full all season healthy, rejuvenated energy with a Cam Johnson on the squad. You got Bruce Brown back. They get it done. Nuggets in 7. That's how I see it going. That's this episode right here. That's the wrap, Jack.
I almost went real unhinged and said Lakers next, but
I was on the same page. I was thinking it, but I was like, I went unhinged with the 76ers last year, so I'll wait.
I'm not ready for the internet to come for me yet, so I'm gonna keep my pick as is, but I might change it after a few couple months. I might change it.
I'm of the same vein. I'll stay with the safe pick right now. But
Lakers next would be fantastic, though. If for nothing else, just the media markets.
Hey, Lakers start off the season like 15-3. Hey, your boy might be talking a little spicy on here. It might.
Summertime in LA and then summertime in New York. Like, that would be an amazing series.
Oh,
for everybody involved, fans, media, players.
Bring back the Jerry Weston, Walt Frazier days.
Yeah, please don't bring back those days, because he ain't do much winning. So don't bring back those exact days, because that means your Knicks win. Don't bring those back. Rest in peace, Jerry West. But nah, don't bring back those days. But that's a wrap for here on the Corner 3. Y'all know the best threes are Corner 3s. We out. Peace. Yeah, I gotta throw it up like mellow.